Hey everyone, Nadia here, ready to share my Lyme disease story and updates about using a breakthrough Lyme treatment called Disulfiram. It's December 27th, 2020. We are in the midst of this crazy pandemic still. So life already without the Disulfiram is a little bit nuts. Anyway, this is intended to be a fairly short video, so if you have any more questions about my experience or anything, just post them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you. Please keep in mind that I am not a doctor. I am just a Lyme patient here to hopefully share my stories so that others can be helped as well. You'll see that I have some notes here. I want to remember to touch on a few things in this video that my awesome son is actually helping me record right now. Some quick facts about me. I'm 41 years old. I'm from Massachusetts, where I contracted Lyme and co-infections from a tick that I never saw. No bullseye rash, nothing. I currently live in Northern California, where my family relocated very shortly after I found out that I had Lyme. I've had Lyme disease for a little over 4 years, and through that time I have been on so many different antibiotics, azithromycin, doxycycline, tinizidone, just so much stuff. I can't even keep track of it. And on one of these videos, maybe I'll describe them all. Herxeimer has been the one antibiotic that I've been on more or less consistently for 4+ years. And it has kept me functional for the most part, like 90% or better. However, I have severe relapses when I go off of it with all the classic Lyme symptoms, including severe, headache is my worst symptom. It's the headache, the blurry vision, the neck, it's like horrible neck pain. It's like not a normal neck ache. And the vertigo, the dizziness, the unsteady gait, the whole bit. In fact, I do also have some joint pain and arthritis, but those aren't my worst symptoms. It's all the head stuff, the blurry vision and the headaches that are the worst for me, and the myalgias. So in addition to Lyme, I found out a couple years ago, my blood tested positive for Babesia duncani. So I've been treated with anti-malarials as well, on and off, following a visit to an LLMD out here. And then just last week, I found out I tested positive for Bartonella, 2 strains of Bartonella, one of them being Bartonella like SSP or something, and then the other one being Bartonella vinsoni. So that's added a new dimension to all my treatment. Unfortunately, under the care of a really good doctor. So back to Disulfiram and what's happening there. I've been on Disulfiram for roughly 6.5 weeks. My protocol involves going super slow and low. So my doctor put me on 31.25 milligrams every other day for the first 5 weeks, and then after that, I've been on 31.25 every day, 31.25 milligrams every day for another week or two. And now at the sort of 6-week mark, I'm alternating 31.25 milligrams one day, and then the next day 62.5 milligrams. I'm also taking the antibiotic cefuroxime, which generally keeps me well. For the first 5 weeks, I was tolerating pretty well. No major food changes other than just trying to get rid of things like vinegar. I eat a lot of Japanese food and sushi, so I've just stopped having soy sauce and stuff. However, I basically up until 2 weeks ago was eating mostly a vegan diet. I have been on and off vegan for the last couple of years, just for animals. That's just me. However, it led me to eat more sort of starchy foods like rice and breads, which I've always liked, and sugary foods. I just have a sweet tooth. I'm additionally on nystatin and a very good probiotic, and I'm supposed to be taking a zinc supplement. The zinc makes me feel pretty sick, like just nauseous, so I should be on it every day, but once in a while I forget. And I just added glutathione. Okay, so my symptoms have just started, very mild symptoms on the Disulfiram. You can see right now, I'm feeling pretty good. However, the most significant symptom has been my just gut issues, stomach aches, I think a reaction to starchy foods, grains, things like rice and breads and sugary foods. I've, in the last week, started to just basically cut those out. I eat no rice, no bread, virtually no bread. Sometimes I eat the scraps off my son's leftover plate. I'm laughing, he's laughing as he's watching this. And then I'll eat, you know, it's sort of been the holiday season, so I've eaten like a little sweet here and there, but nothing like what I was eating before. That has helped tremendously. I've been feeling a lot better. I was so bloated and so, like, I was having abdominal pain that I've just never had before, and it wouldn't go away. Like, lying down doesn't fix it. Like, nothing makes it go away. And it would be accompanied by a, you know, sort of mild headache. Now the symptoms are mostly like, you know, yesterday I had this dullness. I don't know if I'd even classify it as a headache, but I guess it was like a very mild headache. Probably some inflammation around my skull area that was on and off through the day. And then this sudden onset fatigue. Like, unless you have Lyme disease, I don't think you can understand what Lyme fatigue is or how it kind of comes and goes. For me, it's always been like, you know, I'm a pretty high energy person, and then the Lyme fatigue hits, and it's just like in the middle of the day, I just want to lie down and go to sleep. And at times I've said to members of my family who have seen me, you know, like get through the day, and then all of a sudden I'll say things like, I just want to lie down in the middle of the floor and go to sleep now. Like and that was never me before. In terms of other reactions, I have what I call, I don't know what to call the symptom. It's like a pinchy, like a nerve pinchy feeling in parts of my body. My neck was hurting for a while. I don't know if that's because of how I sleep, but my neck was hurting. I had just pinches around my elbows, shoulders, feet. Don't know if it's the Lyme or Bartonella. I don't know if it's a mild Herx, but that's what's been happening on this very low dose so far. The food, I've never been one to follow the food protocols very closely, but I think for the Disulfiram journey, I will, because it seems that my body is just not handling starchy, grainy foods. And so I haven't been reacting to things like salads or, you know, I had this tofu dish from a Chinese restaurant and didn't have any reaction there. So yeah, and then just to give you finally some background on how I am as a patient, and as a person, you know, I'm not someone who was hypochondriac before or anything like that. Before having Lyme, which I got in found out I had in 2016, don't know when I was bitten, I was an incredibly healthy person. I had been a collegiate level athlete at played field hockey in college. I was, you know, when I wasn't doing that, I was, you know, I played sports growing up. I used to go on, leisurely runs. I did my first half marathon right before I found out that I had Lyme disease. And even when I didn't have Lyme, I wasn't on any medication, but I would avoid taking things like Tylenol or ibuprofen for like a headache or a muscle ache. I just was one of those people that did not like to take any medication to alleviate pain. Now, of course, I'm on all kinds of fun supplements and medicines. So anyway, that is my update so far, 6.5 weeks on Disulfiram. Give you an update in about a week. Bye, everybody.